Jaiva Dharma reading, and we're into the 39th chapter today. Today is Wednesday, the 14th of August, 2024. So we'll have a kirtan, and then we'll begin our reading. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari O Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Haribo, Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, 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 Jaya Sachini Nandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Nandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura. Oh Jaya Radha, Gopinatha Radha, Gopinatha Radhe, Radha, Gopinatha Radha, Gopinatha Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, oh Radhe, 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 Radhe. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Ganhaviga Giridhari Radha Tota Gopinath Ju Ki Jai, Nityananda Rai Ki Jai, Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astautar Sarashishimat, Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astautar Sarashishimat, Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astautar Sarashishimat, Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astautar Sarashishimat, Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Shila Gauri Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Saptam Goswami Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Shila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudi Vedantaracharya Ki Jai, Jai Rasik Siromani Shila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai, Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Treya Ki Jai, Shila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai, Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Bhadra Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhardasa Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu's Ki Jai, Arupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, Jai Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Gauda Parsada Ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Sika Hol Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Antadvip Mayapur Simantadvip Gaudrundvip Madhyadvip Koladvip Ritudvip Janudvip Maudrundvip Rududvip Atmaka Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Govardhan Dwadasa Varmatmika Shri Brajamandal Ki Jai, Shri Radha Kun Shama Kun Ganga Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani Ki Jai, Shrimati Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi Maharani Ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ki Jai, Ketra Mandal Ki Jai, Sarava Vigna Vinasa Karishina Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Bhakta Prabha Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai, Charidam Ki Jai, Chari Sampradaya Ki Jai, Charya Ki Jai, Akada Matraj Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai, Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Mat Ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Agina Timbrandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Priya Swarupe Daita Sarupe Prema Sarupe Sahaja Virupe Nijana Rupe Prabhueka Rupe Tatana Rupe Swadala Sarupe Anapita Chirin Chirat Kurana Bharatino Kalam Samadapaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundaratu Tikatamba Sadapita Sada Hridale Kandare Spuratu Vasachinandanaha Yam Pravajantamana Petyam Apeti Krityam Vaipaino Viraha Katara Ajurhava Putre Titam Mayatayo Tarabobinidustam Sarvabhutam Hridim Munimanatoshmi Bhaktya Vina Aparada Lakshay Shittascha Karmadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapana Brinde Namaste Charanadamindam Vajami Radam Aravinda Netram Smarami Radam Madhurashmitasyam Vadami Radam Karuna Varadram Tatomanasti Katina Kapi Tavai Vasmi Najivami Tvaivina Iti Vidnaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Sharanam Tikam. I first of all offer millions and millions of Dandana Pranams out of the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astok Tarazara Shishimat Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions of times unto our beloved Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astok Tarazara Shishimat Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And unto our dearmost Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarabhaya Rupanuga Raite, and all our illustrious Rupanuga Guru Varga and all the Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavnivyo Vaishnavi Namo. So coming to our Falshruti, and we're into the last 4 verses on page 831. Jaiva Dhamma Pateshe Shuddha Bhakti Hoy Jaiva Dhamma Napadile Kavi Bhakti Noy. One who reads Jaiva Dhamma with faithful deliberation will surely attain Shuddha Bhakti. But one who does not read Jaiva Dhamma can never attain Bhakti. Rupa Nuga Abhiman Patetrita Hoy Jaiva Dhamma Vimukake Dharma Hine Hoy. Faithfully reading Jaiva Dhamma will surely strengthen one's abhiman as a Rupa Nuga, follower of Rupa Goswami. One who is averse to reading Jaiva Dhamma is certainly devoid of religious principles. So all that we've been reading recently are straight from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami and the Ujjvala Nilmani of Rupa Goswami and all his supporting literatures. All these descriptions are all coming from Rupa Goswami. Java Jivane Jai Pada Jaiva Dharma Bhakti Manse Janavrita Kyana Karma. One who faithfully reads Jaiva Dharma throughout his entire life will be endowed with Bhakti and will surely realize the futility of Jnana and Karma. My Gurudev often describes that all the teachings and understandings that he has have all come from the Jaiva Dharma. Everything has come from the Jaiva Dharma. Everything can be referenced back to the Jaiva Dharma. All the tattvas and siddhantas about everything. Everything is here. So if one reads it carefully, regularly, then all of these essential truths to create a strong platform will be there for us all the time. Krishna Ramala Seva Labi Senara Seva Sukhe Magnaraha Sada Krishna Para. Such a man, being fully devoted to Sri Sri Radha Krishna Yugal Kishore and having attained their Amal Prem Seva, remains forever merged in the bliss of such immaculate, loving service. So this is the result of reading this Jaiva Dhamma. One will float in the bliss of this immaculate, loving service. So now we come to chapter 39, entering Leela. We've heard the Leela yesterday and the day before. We went through carefully from the Shanta Leela, Prata Leela, Urvana Leela, Madhyana Leela, Apurvana Leela, Shyam Leela, Pradosh Leela and Ratri Leela. These 8 yamas of the day, we should know them. And we should know what goes on in each yama of the day. We should, if we're pertaining to be sadhaks on the path of developing and reawakening our love and attraction for Radha and Krishna. What is the greatest way to do that? It's not by following religious principles alone. It's not just by bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti is almost like a selfish thing. It's like I'm cleaning myself by performing Vaidhi bhakti. But actually, if the heart is genuine and genuinely wants to go to render service of Radha Krishna, he wants to know more and more about those personalities that he's serving. And what more close could we get than this Astakali Leela? There's many Naimitic Leelas which are beautiful and exciting to read, all the different demons, etc. Krishna's warring on the battle of Kurukshetra, etc. These are all Naimitic, all temporary pastimes of the Lord here. But in Golok, in Gokul, Vrindavan, in Aprakat, these pastimes are only there conceptually. So consider all this. These conceptual pastimes are certainly there, but they don't actually take place. So if we want to develop or bring out this natural affection and attraction to Krishna, then we must be focusing on who is Krishna and what is Krishna. So now this chapter is entering into the Leela. How do we enter into the Leela? We have these Ekadash Bhavs, these 11 principal descriptions about the Siddhadeya, about the perfect spiritual body. So this is what Goswami will be speaking about in this chapter, these essential Ekadash Bhavs. So on page 799 now. Now an intense longing possessed Vijay Kumar. Nothing seemed to please him. He could no longer steady his heart, even after having darshan of Jagannath Dev in the temple. He had when Mahaprabhu, he would never see Jagannath Dev. He would only see Brajendranandan, Shyam Sundar. He would never even see Balaram and Subhadra. He would only see Brajendranandan, Shyam Sundar. That was his ekantika, this one-pointed vision. He's in the mood of Radha. Radha is only interested, she's not interested in Balaram or Subhadra at all. She's only interested in Brajendranandan, Shyam Sundar. So that's all. Mahaprabhu would have that vision when he was visiting. He would see with flute, beautiful Hitamba standing in Tribanga form. That's who he would see. Jagannath that we see now is the Lord of the universe, the most powerful Lord of the universe. But it's not Brajendranandan we're seeing with our material vision. We're seeing the Lord of the universe. He had long ago understood the fundamentals of Rasa Tattva. So we've also long ago understood the fundamentals. What are the ingredients, the anubhavs, the sattvika bhavs, the vyabhachari bhavs? The samchari bhavs are the same. And the sthai bhav, the lake of the sthai bhav, all these bhavs are. And what is vibhav? And mixing all this together, it's called the samagri. When you make the recipe of all these ingredients. So now we've gone through the anubhavs, we've gone through the sattvika bhavs, we've certainly gone through the vyabhachari bhavs. We've described the sthai bhav, the mukhya sthai bhav, and the gona sthai bhav. All these we've described. We've described all the ingredients. So we can say that we've understood, to some degree, we've heard it, the fundamentals of Rasa Tattva. We know it exists. Some devotees have written to me this is the first time they're entering into these types of topics. So, but now they know these topics. They know the existence of them, and they know the relevance of them in regards to our regular sadhan bhajan. The devotee has to perform his regular sadhan bhajan. If his sadhan bhajan, that's the only place we can take the temperature of our development and progress, is in our sadhan bhajan. And as we said yesterday, practically everyone, this takes place in Nishanta Leela, or the Brahma Muhurta hour. And we had there are so many extensive descriptions of Nishanta Leela. And it would be really helpful for us to always read this Govinda Leelamrita by Krishna's Kaviraj and Krishna Bhavanamrita by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And there are so many other books also describing these Leelas. And don't think that Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada didn't want us to read these Leelas. When we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, once your eyes have been opened to the reality of the goal, the sadhya, then in Chaitanya Charitamrita in particular, there are so many references to Prabhupada saying in his purports come to Vrindavan. What is the nature of Vrindavan? I'll give you an example. You can look in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse 16. Read it. I'll take a photograph of it and send it to you. Read the commentary, the purport that Prabhupada's saying. Clearly you have to go beyond Vaidhi Bhakti if you actually want to come to Krishna. Krishna is not in that place of being a great dictator and everyone has to follow rules and regulations. That's like Vaikuntha Bhav. And in Vaikuntha Bhav there is how many rasas? 2.5. Shantaras, Dasiras, a little bit of Sakyaras. And those rasas are very much shrunken in Vaikuntha. So the gift of Mahaprabhu is to go to Golok, and it's only now, in this time, that this is available. It wasn't previously. It's Mahaprabhu who's directly giving this through the mouthpiece of Rupa Goswami. So we have to deeply appreciate what is the reality of that. And don't be childish and think, oh, well, this is not what Prabhupada said. Prabhupada was teaching. How long was the oldest devotee with Prabhupada on the planet when Prabhupada was here? It was like Prabhupada spoke for maybe 10 years, perhaps 11 years. So the oldest devotee would have been 10 or 11 years old. But now many of us have gone 30 or 40 years practicing. It's not that you stay in the kindergarten and stay studying the same. The topics aren't, kindergarten is the wrong word really, but the elementary teachings of spiritual life. You're not the body, you're the spirit soul. How long can you say that for? And be interested and enthusiastic about it. So for the older devotee to come into this Rasa Tattva is a great gift. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving this gift. But we should take it with 2 hands carefully, drink it and relish it. And it's not for the external world. It's not for posting on Facebook and everything like that. It's for our own internal development. It's not an external thing. It's for an internal, reflective, meditative focus of our consciousnesses. This is what it's giving us. He had long ago understood the fundamentals of Rasa Tattva, but it was only now, in Sri Gopal Guru Goswami's association, that he came to understand Madhurya Ras with its Sthai Bhav, Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvika Bhavs and Vyabhachari Bhavs. So what does that mean? That means only in the association of a Rasik, Bhuvaka, Vaishnava, will we get the real current of this tattva. If we're always sitting with devotees who are not so much educated in these topics, then you will think these topics are not a reality. I can remember many years ago when I first read Nectar Devotion, I was thinking, 34, 35, almost 40 years ago, reading and thinking, oh, this is wonderful, but it's not for me. I don't really quite believe it. But when you've been in the company of a self-realized sadhu, then you realize the reality of it. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving us this opportunity. If we have this desire, Krishna must supply that sadhu who is in knowledge of these subject matters, practicing them, and has some realization of them. And by that association, we will get the confidence. Shraddha Sabde Vishvasa. This confidence to walk into there and to realize it's a truth, it's a reality. Because we play around with the peripherals of liberation, etc. We're always wanting to be liberated from our material sufferings and so on. But that is not the path. Nirvishesh Brahm is not the path. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says repeatedly in the Falshruti. And it's only now in Sri Gopal Guru's association that he came to understand Madhurya Ras with its Sthai Bhav, Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvika Bhav and Vyabhachari Bhavs. Different bhavs manifested in his heart at different times. For a while, one bhav would arise and immerse him in bliss, and then a new bhav would invade his heart. This is all natural. This is all just coming by itself. He's not inducing this. They're just coming because he's reached a stage of faithful attachment to his Guru Dev and to the subject matter. And he has, in this case, Vijay Kumar, great sanskar, born in the holy Dham, lived a whole life dharmically, purely. So these are very easily these truths coming into the heart. But for most Western devotees in particular, we don't have those sanskars, that sukriti, so for us it's more difficult. But don't doubt that by hearing these topics, it will create the sukriti and sanskar. And how will we know it's creating the sukriti and sanskar? Because an eagerness and enthusiasm will be coming into the heart to hear more and more and more about these topics, but in a confidential manner, and still respecting those Vaidhi Bhaktas who are on that path of Vaidhi Bhakti. Not all of a sudden it's another sectarian society of Gopi Bhav Club, something like this. We're all on such a high platform and we look down with disdain on those who aren't in this area. Then completely you're not on the spiritual platform at all. You're on a grossly proud material platform. So it has nothing to do with competitiveness or sectarianism at all, not at all. But we create that through our youthful passion, so to speak. You know? We create those sectarian types of groups, thinking that because the world that we live in, the world that we come from, is completely competitive. It's all about competition. I'm better than you. So we've got that ingrained within us that has to be purified. This path doesn't have anything to do with that at all. It's a solitary individual journey of the soul. And if we see it that way, with great enthusiasm and excitement to come to the lotus feet of service to Radha and Krishna. And we're not coming with a crowd, just like the gopis didn't run in a group to the forest at night. They ran completely individually. They heard that flute song in their ear, and billions of gopis, they all ran to the forest completely independently, totally independent. And when they got there, they found so many other gopis were there, but they weren't expecting them. They were thinking, I'm courageously facing the dangers of the dark forest at night, because it is a dangerous path. When you realize just how much independence you do have, it's not that Krishna is going to immediately catch you all the time like a baby. You have your independent choice to move, to go, how you're going to navigate through here. So these are important topics to drink for ourselves selectively. And then with that strength of knowledge, then we can give to others whatever adhikar they have. We can increase that enthusiasm there, but never condemn anybody for not coming on this journey, this path. This is just completely material, utterly useless. Different bhavs manifested in his heart at different times. For a while, one bhav would arise and immerse him in bliss, and then a new bhav would invade his heart. He passed his days in this way, completely helpless to check the awakening and movement of any bhav in his heart, or its transformation into another bhav. It's like when you, sometimes people who perform yoga very strictly, they can tap into this kundalini energy, and it starts to move you around involuntarily. It can move you. You're not even doing anything, but you're being moved by it. So Vijay Kumar has been like that. He's been like moved by these bhavs. He passed in this way, completely helpless to check the awakening and movement of any bhav in his heart, or its transformation into another bhav. Consequently, one day, we're talking about one man. He's not in a group. He's not going back to his mat, some type of institutional mentality. He's alone, practicing this path. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is showing this from the beginning. From the beginning, there were no institutions in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. It was only Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, out of his great compassion, that manifested the institution to support the bhaktas, not to create sectarianism and disrespect amongst each other. That was never his purpose. But it evolved down to that, where the mutts have their own individual natures because they're led by a particular strong devotee in one area, so they have their own specialities, and then they start condemning other mutts that don't follow the same norms, because everything is going to be individual. The bhavs that you experience are not going to be the same as anyone else in existence experiences. So we can't try to wedge them all together. But society has to do that. especially a demonic society like Kali Yuga that we live in. The demons like to control, so they like everyone to be walking like robots, then they can control them. They have these mobile phones, so they can just, they throw out all these different messages deliberately to distract the whole populace from really what they're doing. So we all become confused and mesmerized, even more than the Mayic energy is. This is, of course, in the hands of Maya Devi. So, but this individuality we have to come to terms with and courageously accept, because we do need courage to go that way. Consequently, one day he approached the lotus feet of Sri Guru Goswami with tearful eyes and submitted the following request. Prabhu, by your unlimited compassion, I have learned everything, but I cannot control my real self, so I cannot firmly establish myself in Krishna Lila. Kindly bestow upon me whatever instructions you may think suitable for me in my present condition. So he knows so much of the Rasa Tattva, it's already been described, and he's got the potency and benediction to go into this area, but there's an area of his own perfected self that is still not categorically firm. His heart is not firm because he's not completely aware of the identity of his spirit soul. So this is what we're going to talk about. Sri Guru Goswami became overjoyed to see Vijay Kumar's bhavs and thought to himself, "Aho, how glorious and wonderful the nature of Krishna Prem is. It makes happiness seem like distress," because actually Vijay Kumar is in such an intoxicatedly happy place, but he's feeling completely distressful because his heart is restless. So he's feeling distressful, even though it's actually such a high condition. And distress is like happiness. Then he said to Vijay Kumar, "My dear son, now you should adopt the means by which you can enter into Krishna Lila." Vijay, what is the method for doing that? Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami has prescribed the method to enter Krishna Lila in the following shloka. Na dharmam na dharmam shruti gana niruktam kila kuru Rajye Radha Krishna Prachur Paricharyam Iha Tanu Sachi Sunam Nandishwara Pati Shutve Guru Varam Mukunda Pristave Smara Param Ajasram Nanu Manaha. This is Manashiksha 2. Oh my dear mind, Raghunath Das is our Prayojan Acharya. So Raghunath Das has given us this Manashiksha. He's given us Vilap Kusumanjali. He's given us Brajavilas Stava. He's given us so many exalted shastras to immerse ourselves in. But my dear mind, please do not perform either dharma or adharma mentioned in the Shrutis. Saying exactly the same that Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts his Falshruti over. Don't follow this material dharma. Can you do it? No, we can't. We are so dharmically ingrained to follow the route of dharma. If the traffic light for walking across the pedestrian is red and there's not even any car coming, I will not walk across the road because the law says don't walk across. But Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who was described by one devotee on a walk with him, he would come to the traffic and there would be no traffic and the light would be red and he would just walk straight across the road. Because sometimes it's crazy. Why should you not walk across the road if there's no cars coming? So look for the purpose behind the dharmic instructions. Rather, you should render profuse loving service to Sri Sri Radha Krishna Yugal here in Braj, for the Shrutis have ascertained that they are the highest principle of supreme worship and the supreme absolute truth. Always meditate on Sachinandan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is richly endowed with the complexion and sentiments of Srimati Radhika, as non-different from Sri Nandanandan, and always remember Sri Gurudev as most dear to Sri Mukunda. Always remember Mahaprabhu. Unless we're remembering Mahaprabhu, we're not going to be able to enter into Krishna Lila. If we're just immersed in remembering those Astakali Lila, but we're not praying first for the mercy of Mahaprabhu, we will not have entrance. It is through the channel of Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami that will give us entrance into that Astakali Leela. The chapter is titled Entering Leela. Mahaprabhu has the key. Don't think we can do something separate. If you're hearing lots of Braj Ras Katha and no mention of Mahaprabhu, you should feel a little bit shy of that place. It has to be on the platform of Mahaprabhu. It has to be. He is the one who's opening the door for Paraki above. It was never there previously. Don't waste time vainly deliberating on the righteous and unrighteous activities, dharma and adharma mentioned in Shastra. Don't waste time. People will follow, people won't follow. That's not our business. In other words, you should completely abandon Shastric reasoning and logic and engage in the sadhana of Raganuga Bhakti according to the greed developed in your heart. Render profuse loving service to Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in Braj. Always in Braj. Tannama Rupa Taritadi Sukirtana Smitya Kramana Rasana Siddhyoja Tishtem Braje Tanuragi Janugami. Always follow those residents of Braj. Rupa Goswami, that's the essence of all advice. In his Upadeshamrita, all Goswamis are saying the same thing. That is, engage in the bhajan of Brajaras. If you ask, who will teach the aim and object of Brajaras bhajan, then please listen. After Braj Leela, our Prananath, Sri Nimananda, has appeared from the womb of Sri Sachi Devi in Prachana, concealed Vrindavan. So this Nimananda, this is Mahaprabhu, of course, Nimai. Sri Navadvip Dham. Sachinandan Gaurahari is none other than Krishna himself, the son of the Lord of Nandishvara, Sri Nanda Maharaj. Never consider Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be inferior to Sri Krishna. An uneducated person will somehow have the idea, if they don't know Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritiya Hladini Shakti Asmat Ekatmana Apibu Videha Bedam Katoto Chaitanyaikam Prakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chekyam Radha Krishna Subalitam. Huh? No, that's the last, that's the next one. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritiya Hladini Shakti Asmat Ekatmanava Pibu Videha Bedam Katoto Chaitanyaikam Prakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chekyam Radha Bhav Dudi Subalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. That is the last line of that one. Is that what you say? Yeah, I thought you were saying the other. Never consider Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be inferior to... These three verses of Adi Leela, 4, 5 and 6. 4, Anapita Chirim Chirat, is written by Rupa Goswami. If you don't know this verse, if you don't know the meaning and purport of that verse, how can you expect to enter into this Leela place of consciousness? This is glorification of Mahaprabhu by Rupa Goswami. This Unnata Ujvala Ras that Mahaprabhu came to taste, and Mahaprabhu came to give Swabhakti Shriyam. Swabhakti, that own bhakti, Krishna's own bhakti. Shriyam means beauty. What is the beauty of Krishna's bhakti? It's the manjaris, the manjaris. This is how it's been described fully. When we have a creeper growing, it has flowers. That's like the sakis, but they have manjaris inside. So it's manjari bhav that Mahaprabhu has come to give, not saki bhav. He hasn't come to give that. We've discussed this previously. So if we want to enter into Leela, we must take shelter of Mahaprabhu. Don't think Mahaprabhu to be inferior to Sri Krishna in any aspect of tattva. He has appeared in Navadvip and has displayed a distinct bhajan leela. So you should never give up Braja bhajan. What is Mahaprabhu thinking when he first wakes up? He's thinking immediately of Nishanta Leela. He's immersed himself in Nishanta Leela. That's what he's immersed in. And he will take us into that Nishanta Leela if we have full nishta to him. So everything is on the back of Mahaprabhu. Everything. So those three verses, the 4th, 5th and 6th, should be inscribed in the sadhaks' hearts. You can post those 3 verses again with their translations, etc. The second 2, the 5 and 6, are written by Swarup Damodar. We should say these 3 verses every single day because they encapsulate the entirety of the identity of Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami and all our Guru Varga is all contained within there. He is Krishna, he is Navadvip, hang on. So you should never give up Braja Bhaja, thinking that he is Navadvip Nagara, the lover who enjoys the consorts in Navadvip. He is Krishna himself, but you should not disturb those on the path of Archan. This is what I was saying previously. Don't disturb those who are in the path of Archan. Archan is just the external worship, going to the temple, performing all these activities with your body. It's not the internal, reflective contemplation that's being described here. So don't disturb those people who meditate upon him separately from Krishna and perform his worship with separate mantras. Yes, those who worship just Radha and Krishna separate from Mahaprabhu, don't disturb them. On the Ras Marg, he is the exclusive object of bhajan as Sri Radha Vallabha, and he has appeared as Sri Sachinandan, the sole guru of Brajaras. My Guru Dev has described very carefully, Sachinandan Gaurahari is our bhajan shiksha guru. This is who he is. He's our bhajan shiksha guru. He will carry us into bhajan. Therefore, perform bhajan of that Sachinandan as Krishna Preshta, that is, considering him to be Guru, who is very dear to Krishna. It's a nice expression. Krishna Preshta. Mahaprabhu is Krishna Preshta. Before performing Radha Krishna Smaranam, always remember Gaura Leela. Always remember Gaura Leela first. Don't just jump in. Because it will stimulate and awaken your bhavs of Astakalya Krishna Leela. Always realize Bhajan Gurudev is none other than a Braja Yujeshwari or Sakhi. Enter into Braj Leela by performing bhajan in this way. So this is the method, this is the path to enter Smarana Leela of Radha and Krishna's pastimes on the back of Mahaprabhu's teachings. And that involves these 3 verses. Anapita Chirinchira, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritya, Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima. These 3 verses, most essential. That last one, Shri Radha Krishna Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Varaiva Svadyena Buddha Madariva Kidrisho Varadya Sokyam Kasyam Mad Anubhavita Kidrisham Vadilobat Tat Bhavadya Samajani Sachi Garabo Sindhu Harindu. This is the 6th verse. So there's 4, 5, and 6. Essential to know meanings very deeply and to recite them regularly. It's the backbone. Swarup Damodar is none other than Lalita Sakhi. Who is our Sakhi Gan? Who is our Sakhi Yuteshwari? Srimati Radhika is the Yuteshwari, but Lalita Devi has the particular Gan that we are being directed towards. And Lalita Devi is Swarup Damodar, and he wrote these last 2 verses. Shri Radha Krishnaya Pranaya and Shri Radha Krishna Vikritya Ladi. These verses, that's 5 and 6, written by Lalita Sakhi, Swarup Damodar. Vijay, Prabhu, now I will put aside all the logical arguments of the Shastras and all the other paths, for I am becoming very eager to render appropriate services in Astakalya Krishna Leela, as taught and demonstrated by Sri Gauranga Dev, under the guidance of my Guru Rupa Sakhi. Please instruct me how I can make my mind steadfast in this attitude so I can achieve my goal. Hear these truths carefully. It's a very powerful chapter. Goswami, 2 subjects are to be clearly understood in this connection. Upasya Pariskriti and Upasaka Pariskriti. Upasya and Upasaka, Pariskriti. Upasya Pariskriti means to refine the conception and realize the true nature of the Upasya, or the object of one's seva. This is what we were saying before. Who is the object of our seva? And it's only what you think in your heart, not what the rest of Facebook think in their imagined conceptions. It's what you think in your heart. This is what we must appreciate. You have already accomplished Upasya Pariskriti, for you have understood Rasa Tattva. There are 11 bhavs, Ekadash bhavs, with respect to Upasaka Pariskriti. You have gained almost all of them, but you need to be somewhat more firmly established in them. So now he's going to explain the nature of the Siddhadeya and these Ekadash bhavs. This is very important to at least appreciate at this point. Vijay, kindly explain these Ekadash bhavs to me thoroughly once again. He's already explained them, but now he's going to explain them again. Goswami, the Ekadash bhavs are 1. Sambandha, relationship. 2. Vyas, age. 3. Nam, name. 4. Roop, personal form and beauty. 5. Yut, group. 6. Vesh, dress. 7. Agyan, specific instruction. 8. Vas, residence. 9. Seva, exclusive service. 10. Parikashta svasa, the highest summit of emotion, which is the aspirant's very life breath. And 11. Palyadasi bhav, the sentiment of a maidservant under protection of Sri Radha. And we are under the protection of Sachinandan Gaurahari, who was in the mood of Sri Radha. It's only Sachinandan Gaurahari who is giving us Sri Radha. We would not understand any of these things without Mahaprabhu. So how can we expect to enter into Krishna Lila without full submission and prayer to Mahaprabhu? Always he is most prominent. Vijay, what is Sambandha, relationship? Goswami, the sentiment of Sambandha is the very foundation of this subject. The sentiments with which one relates to Krishna when one establishes Sambandha determine one's corresponding state of perfection, siddhi. So whoever you think of as Krishna, that is what's going to manifest your relationship with Krishna. Relationship is a reality. It's not something just like dreamy. It's who is Krishna? How close are you to Krishna? How much do we love Krishna? We've heard about his qualities. We've heard about his 4 different types of personality or characteristics. Dhirodata, Dhirlalit, Dhirodata, and Dhirshantaha, these 4 types. We've heard so many descriptions of the nature of his pastimes, his joking. Dhirlalit, these are all Dhirlalit moods. And we've heard also so much about Radhika. So this is giving us a simple entrance into that sambandha, a familiarity with these personalities, but always with full respect until we realize our siddhadeya ourselves. If there's any lack in respect, that will transgress the very core of our path, and we will become like sahajiyas. I've met devotees sometimes, they try to talk very familiarly about Radha and Krishna. We should hold to the beautiful guidance of Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, who would speak very carefully about Radha and Krishna in a very respectful mood, trying to teach us. My Gurudev blew it out into a very familiar space, but if we didn't have the adhikar to really understand that, we have to develop that respectful mood towards Radha and Krishna, not become thinking that I'm so familiar because I'm knowing so many things about Krishna. Very important. The sentiments with which one relates to Krishna when one establishes sambandha determine one's corresponding state of perfection, siddhi. One who accepts Krishna as master when he establishes his relationship with him becomes das. So this is like in dasya ras, or even in Vaikuntha we accept Krishna as master. One who accepts Krishna as his Saka, or son, when he establishes his relationship becomes Saka, or parent, respectively. One who accepts him as husband in the marital Swakiya relationship becomes a beautiful young lady in Dwarka. Shantaras is absent in Braj. Absent in Braj. Shantaras is absent in Braj. It's the ras that in the material world everyone is looking for, that Shantaras. But it's not even in Braj. It's absent. It's in Vaikuntha to a great degree with those four liberated conditions. Sarupya, Salokya, Sharsti, Samipya. These four liberated conditions. Shantaras is absent in Braj, and even Dasyaras is very inhibited because Madhurya Ras doesn't allow those moods of awe and veneration to actually come in pure Madhurya Ras. In any case, this relationship is established according to the worshipper's ruchi, according to the worshipper's taste. So again, it's very individual, it's very unique, it's not a group consciousness. I'm saying this all the time. We have to wake up to our own intrinsic individual nature and our whole glorious individual personality. It's very empowering to wake up to that. Your nature is feminine and your inclination is in Parakiya Ras. So you are a subordinate attendant of Brajavaneshwari. The sambandha that you have to cultivate and realize fully is, I am a maidservant of Srimati Radhika's most confidential attendant, maid. Srimati Radhika is the mistress of my very life and Krishna is her life. Therefore Radha Bala, Shri Krishna, is certainly the Lord of my life. This is the condition of all our Guru Varg. All the personalities in our line, they are all maidservants of Srimati Radhika. Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada is also a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. And if we are curious, we can find out his name and his identity. It's there. If those who want to actually know, they can inquire. What is his Gopi name? What is his Manjari name? Actually, he has two names. But that's a confidential thing, not to sort of necessarily broadcast all around, but it's there. How could he not be a Manjari in this line? Because this is the gift that Mahaprabhu is giving. Is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada any less than any of the other gurus in our line? He's like a lion guru taking this to the Western world. But the Western world haven't understood all these things so extensively. Vijay, I have heard that our acharyas, Srila Jiva Goswami, was in favor of sambandha in Swakiya Bhav, the marital relationship. Is this true? Goswami, none of the followers of Sriman Mahaprabhu were outside the pure transcendental Parakiya Bhav. None of the followers. That means Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada also. None of them. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Brahman Keshav Maharaj, my Gurudev, all are complete followers of this transcendental Parakiya Bhav. Completely. Sri Swarup Goswami is the sole guru of this transcendental Parakiya Ras. Lalita Sakhi, I said before, these two verses just written by her, we should learn. Very important. He has given instruction on the purest transcendental Parakiya Bhav, and Srila Jiva Goswami, as well as Sri Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami, followed in his footsteps and maintained the same opinion. So don't be confused about our line at all. All are Manjaris from top to bottom. Srila Jiva Goswami has never cherished any independent sentiments of Swakiya Bhajan. However, he observed a scent of Swakiya Bhav in some of the Upasakas, worshippers of Braj. The Swakiya Bhav of Braj is found only where the Samartha Rati has a scent of Samanjasa Rati in it. That Samanjasa Rati is the queens of Dwarka. Those who maintain a slight sense of Swakiya Bhav when they establish their relationship with Krishna are actually Swakiya Upasakas. Srila Jiva Goswami had both types of disciples, those with Shuddha Parakiya Bhav and those whose worship was mixed with a sense of Swakiya Bhav. So we know this. He had these two types of disciples. Consequently, he left separate instructions according to disciples' different inclinations. It's not that you can negate and say, no, there's no Swakiya Bhav. If someone has that mood, then Jiva Goswami is so kind and he's giving the instructions for that mood to flourish and develop. It doesn't mean that that's necessarily that Jiva Goswami believed in Swakiya Bhav. He was fully immersed in Parakiya understanding, and we see from so many of his writings, it's only a very little Swakiya. Consequently, he left separate instructions according to his disciples' different inclinations. This fact is clearly established in the sloka Swachya Liktitam Kinchit in his Lochan Rochini Tika on Ujjvala Nilamani. So that we have to appreciate. Vijay, very well. I have understood that only the unadulterated Parakiya Bhajan is accepted in the Vishuddha pure Gaudiya conception. Only that. Now that I have understood Sambandha, please tell me about Vyas, age. Goswami, Sambandha that you have established with Krishna has resulted in your unprecedented and unparalleled intrinsic Swarup, Braja Lalan Swarup, of a Braja Gopi. Now, to render service in that Swarup, you need to have a suitable age, Vyas, and the appropriate age is Kaishora, the age from 10 to 16, also known as Vyaya Sandhi. In your Swarup, you will begin from the age of 10 and grow up to 16 years. Rajalalans do not have the three ages of Balya, infancy, ages 0 to 5, Hoganda, ages 5 to 10, childhood, ages 5 to 10, and Vriddha, adulthood. So you should always foster. Of course, in the spiritual world, it's eternal time. There's no conception of time, past, present, and future. So therefore, you're eternally in that Kashura age. Kishori. So you should always foster the spiritual identification of being a Kishori. Vijay, please explain to me about Nam, name. I have already received the name of my Swarup, but still, please give me firm instructions in this regard. Goswami, after hearing about the services of various damsels of Braj, your own service tendency has awakened. According to that natural tendency for service, you are a maidservant of Radhika Sakhi. The name of that maidservant is your name. Your Gurudev has given you your name after examining your inclination or ruchi. That name is to be considered your Nityanam. You will be delighted, Manorama, by this name among the Brajagopis. So his name is Manorama. That is his name, Manorama. And it means to delight the Lord. Prabhu, now please tell me about Rup, eternal form. Goswami, the intrinsic transcendental identity is that of a beautiful, youthful Kishori, which means that your Sri Gurudev has defined your Siddha Rup according to the inclination and ruchi, according to your inclination and ruchi. How can one be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika without having been endowed with an inconceivable divine form and personal beauty? Vijay, please consolidate my faith regarding Yut group. Goswami, Srimati Radhika herself is the Yuteshwari, leader of the Yut. and you have to live as an attendant in the group of one of her 8 principal Sakhis. Your Gurudev has put you under the guidance of Srimati Lalita, so now you should render loving service to Yuteshwari Srimati Radhika and Leelamai Sri Krishna under Sri Lalita's order. Vijay, Prabhu, what sort of sadhaks become followers of the groups of Yuteshwaris such as Chandravali? So I'm going to discuss this topic tomorrow. We'll discuss about Chandravali. Chandravali principally is the opposition party. It's a very interesting description about Chandravali. So we can go there tomorrow. So I'll stop here now today. Perhaps tomorrow we may complete this chapter. Shri Jaiva Dharma ki jai. Ekadash Bhavs ki jai. So he's going through these Ekadash Bhavs. In your notes you can write down these 11 Bhavs. If you write them down for yourselves, it'll make a deeper impression than just reading them. Always we want to have a foundation of these truths accessible in the heart, not just in the mind. So we need to program ourselves, educate ourselves in these topics. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Prema. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Pranamde, Hari Hari Bol, Vanshakavat Rubhyascha, Vipasindavedcha, Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavega Namaha. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai.